Hi, my name is David, I'm a magician, and this is a review of Ollie Mealing's membership service, where you can learn such tricks and productions like the following. I'll just stop right there, show you that card. Oh, it's an ace. If I wanted to find the other 3 aces, I can do so in just 1 second. Now I'm going to go through an overview, pros and cons, whether this is for you or not, and finish off with my final thoughts. And the review starts now. So who is Ollie Mealing and why should you care? Good question. Ollie is a magician who specializes in hard-hitting, brain-fooling card magic, and he's also worked with the best modern mentalists on TV today, Darren Brown, on his touring show. I first heard of Ollie Mealing through a magic DVD titled The Session 2007, named after a magic convention in the UK called The Session, which so happened to be based in the year 2007. On that DVD, he taught a couple of things, including a boomerang flourish, which I failed to learn, and also a switch card trick, which I was able to learn and subsequently used in my walk around. I also used that in my unofficial audition into a magic hangout group where we would go to the city, go to a bar, and then jam magic tricks into the late hours of the night on a weekly basis. To be young and without responsibility again. But I digress. What are the details of this membership, you might be wondering? Well, wonder no more. For £10 a month, you get access to a buffet of Ollie's card material, which there are over 65 items currently, and counting, because each month a new item is added. They're also broken down into helpful categories such as tricks, controls, key cards, crimps, peaks, forces, color changes, productions, miscellaneous, and social media magic. Is any of this stuff good, you might be thinking? Well, no need to think. If you go to the link in my description, you'll be able to see videos of some tricks that Ollie performs, and then you'll get an idea of whether this is material for you or not. And if you sign up and learn how it works, you'll have a whole new appreciation of the mind and creativity of Ollie and how he comes up with these tricks. So what are the pros and cons of this membership? Well, we'll start with the pros first. There's a whole bunch of material here for all types of performing situations, such as social magic with your friends, cocktail and walk around magic for your gigs, or social media magic for the gram. The fact that everything is categorized is super helpful when you're trying to look for something specific to add to your repertoire. For example, in a previous video where I performed card magic to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, link in the description below, I wanted a new ending that would fit my particular routine. So I went through to the color changes section and then found one that fit my routine and my style, learned it and then added it in. Easy. Each item is covered in detail to make sure that everything is covered. For example, at the top of the video where I performed that forest production, which pretty much took 1 second, the explanation video for that was 22 minutes. Now, other magic tutorials will probably spend like 5 minutes on that. Here's the setup, here's the production, now go see a Star Wars. But here, Ollie goes through not just the setup and the production, but also how to get into it from a shuffle deck in use, and how to get into it in the most natural way when you're around people. And he also goes through his script and why he says what he says, and when it comes to the production, how to get the most impact out of your audience, and also thoughts on how to use it for walk around. Other items have this same level of detail and thought put into it. Now, you're probably not going to use each and every magic trick and sleight in this membership, but that's okay, because you should still watch the explanations. Because within those explanations, Ollie also goes through some theory and thoughts on magic and performing, which are really helpful when it comes to applying to your own magic performances. Now for the cons. What's bad about this membership? If you're here for magic that's non-card based, like coins, rubber bands, rabbits, canes, hats, or whatever, you're not going to find that here. Mealing's membership is purely card-based. Is there a chance that there could be non-card based material in the future? Well, I asked Ollie and he said no. His focus is purely on creative card magic. So whatever he puts on this membership, you know it's going to be good. There's no stand-up card material which you can perform for a large group of people, such as a stage or a club. Granted, there's not much stand-up card material out in the world anyway. However, with a bit of creativity and mind thinking, you could probably take some of these tricks and repurpose them full stage. However, I guess it would have been nice to have some material that's stage ready already. Steady. This isn't strictly a con, but Most of the material here in the membership require a table to perform, so some people might complain that they can't find a table to perform on. So if you're a worker that does cocktail and walk around magic and there's little to no table space where you perform, some of these tricks are probably not going to work unless you do some creative compromises to make it work, which you should be able to do if you're a worker. However, there are some tricks here that are perfect for walk around, like that switch card trick I mentioned that I learned many years ago. That's also taught here, but with more detail, and he's got a new ending which I'm looking forward to add to my own repertoire. So is this for you? Well, it depends on who you are. Let's get philosophical for a moment. Who are you? Are you a muggle that knows absolutely nothing about magic? Well, this is probably not for you. This membership requires you to know some basics of magic, including card handling, sleights, and the jargon that comes along with it. However, Ollie does explain everything in detail like I mentioned before, so you should be able to follow along and perform each item. And there's also super easy stuff as well. The section on keycards, for example, is easy for any muggle to follow along so that you can learn it and then use it for your mates at your next poker night, board game night, or pool room fight. Are you a beginner in magic? Well, this membership is a perfect companion piece as you study the foundations of magic. I know that when I first started magic, I liked to learn pretty much any and everything. Whether I could do it or not, I'd give it a go. I was often attracted to the flashy, fancy, fooling stuff, and you've got plenty of that in this membership. If you tried learning an item a week, after a year, you'd have 12 additional items to keep you going. Are you a seasoned practitioner of prestidigitation? Well, this is perfect for you. In this membership, you're sure to learn something new. Ollie takes old and familiar principles and looks at them in new and different ways that will make your mind just go and get your creative card juices flowing. For example, check out sign, square, and elephant in the room for examples of this. So how about me? Have I gotten anything out of this membership? Well, at the top of this video I already performed one item, and in a previous video I applied another one, and I've got plans to use another one in a future video, and I've got routines in the back of my mind which need to be reworked, and I'm sure some of the sleights here in the membership are going to be perfect for it. Plus, the tricks that Ollie teaches here, I really want to learn so I can share them with people and make them go wow! I know I sound like an infomercial right now, but if you've listened to me for this long, you've probably got a good idea in your mind whether this is for you or not. If I didn't like this membership, I wouldn't be a member and I wouldn't use the material. But as a magician, I find that I get good value out of it, and I'm sure you would too if you were to join. Until next time, try saying powerful practitioner of digital prestidigitation 5 times fast and have a magical day.